The Los Angeles Rams just pulled off a move so bold, it's sending shockwaves through the entire NFL, and if you aren't paying attention, you're missing the birth of a new dynasty. We aren't just talking about a minor coaching shuffle. We are witnessing a complete overhaul of the franchise's DNA that could either cement a decade of dominance or become the most expensive gamble in the history of the city. The tension in the building is through the roof because the front office has finally stopped playing safe and started playing for keeps. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest NFL updates on the planet. The atmosphere inside the facility has flipped overnight. I've been tracking this team every single day, and I'm telling you, the energy is electric. We've seen coordinators come and go, but this is the missing piece of the puzzle. It's not just about drawing up a new playbook. It's about protecting a legacy of greatness. For every member of the Romilly who remembers the glory of those Super Bowl runs, this is the signal that we aren't going anywhere. We are staying at the absolute summit of the NFL hierarchy. The name on everyone's lips is Ty Simpson. He is now the center of a massive strategic pivot in Los Angeles, and the man holding the remote is the legendary Kliff Kingsbury. Think about the insanity of this situation. When the Arizona Cardinals poached our former offensive coordinator, Mike Lafleur, to be their head coach, Sean McVay was standing at a crossroads. He could have played it safe, but instead, he chose violence. He promoted Nate Shielhasa from within, but the real masterstroke was snatching up Kingsbury as the assistant head coach. But wait until you hear the secret history behind this hiring that almost happened years ago. This isn't some random hire off the street. These two offensive geniuses have a history that goes back to 2018. The Rams actually tried to bring him in back then, but he chose USC before eventually landing the head coaching job with the Cardinals. After a stint with the Washington Commanders, the stars finally aligned. Two of the greatest offensive minds in the history of the sport are finally under one roof. Do you think a duo like McVay and Kingsbury is enough to take down the rest of the NFC West? Or is this just too many cooks in the kitchen? The real story isn't just about the titles on the doors. It's about the vision McVay has for his young quarterback. According to Lafleur, McVay has been obsessed with this young passer for months. Every single move made this offseason, every signing, every cut, every hire, was meticulously crafted to support this one development plan. By bringing in a specialist with this kind of resume, the Rams are shouting their intent to the world. They are turning this prospect into a legitimate NFL powerhouse. It is incredibly rare to see an NFL team stack a coaching room with this much veteran experience just to support one kid's growth. It is a masterclass in management. The goal is to protect the long-term health of the franchise. Kingsbury brings the perspective of a former player and a head coach who has seen every defensive scheme known to man. His presence allows Shielhasa to handle the big picture, while a dedicated expert focuses on the mechanics and mental processing of the quarterback. This setup is designed to destroy the hurdles that usually ruin young players. But you won't believe the list of superstars this man has already built from scratch. Comment challenge. Who is the greatest quarterback developer in NFL history? If you think it's Kingsbury, drop a GOAT in the comments. If you think it's someone else, tell me who and why. The track record of our new assistant head coach is nothing short of legendary. We are talking about the man who walked into Texas A&M and helped turn Johnny Manziel into the first freshman to ever win the Heisman Trophy. Manziel credited this coach for giving him the belief that he belonged on the big stage. But he didn't stop there. He went to Texas Tech and oversaw the legendary rise of Patrick Mahomes. Even though Mahomes was raw, this coach didn't put him in a box. He encouraged that explosive, creative playstyle that now defines the NFL. Mahomes himself said that freedom was the key to his journey. And the list keeps going. He helped Case Keenum shatter NCAA records. He guided Kyler Murray to an Offensive Rookie of the Year award. At USC, he was the architect preparing Caleb Williams for the pros. And just last year in Washington, he worked wonders with Jaden Daniels, who also secured Rookie of the Year honors. The players he coaches don't just get better, they form life-changing bonds with him. They call the relationship special. For the Rams, this means Ty Simpson isn't just getting a coach. He's getting a mentor who speaks the language of a passer because he was one. This expertise is vital as we transition into a new era of dominance. Imagine the growth possible when you pair a talented athlete with a coach who has developed 3 Rookie of the Year winners and a Super Bowl MVP. The impact on the locker room is going to be immediate. It's about taking raw talent and polishing it until it blinds the opposition on the biggest stage in the world. But this hire carries a massive secret benefit that fixes our biggest disaster from last season. The direct consequence of this hire is that the Rams are finally prioritizing a safety net for the future. We all know that winning in this league requires a steady hand at the most important position. This move ensures we have the best possible teacher in the room. If this development project succeeds, it means this team remains a contender for the next decade. No more worrying about a drop-off in production. It simplifies everything for the front office. They won't have to scramble for overpriced veterans or take desperate gambles in the draft every year. Instead, they can focus on building a wall of an offensive line and a terrifying defense while their young passer grows under expert guidance. This helps us win more games right now because a well-prepared backup keeps the season alive even if a veteran goes down. We've seen seasons derailed by poor QB play in the past. It's a disaster. This coaching structure is our insurance policy. It makes the entire 53-man roster better. The receivers will have more confidence in the timing. The offensive line will benefit from a QB who knows how to navigate the pocket and avoid hits. This is the human side of football, where one person's growth ripples through the whole team. For the fans, this means less stress on Sundays and more reasons to be hyped about the direction of the franchise. It's a clear path to sustained success. We are moving away from the uncertainty of the past and stepping into a period of calculated, aggressive growth. The stakes are sky high, but the reward is another Lombardi trophy in the case. When you have this much talent and coaching pedigree in one building, the results speak for themselves. The goal is simple: create an environment where a young player cannot fail. But there is a dark side to this plan that no one is talking about. The contrast between the possible outcomes is creating massive tension as we head toward the season. In the best-case scenario, the young quarterback absorbs every bit of knowledge from his mentor and emerges as a top-tier talent. This would mean the Rams navigated a difficult transition and found their next cornerstone without missing a single beat. The offense would become an unstoppable force, blending McVay's brilliance with Kingsbury's techniques. It would be a masterstroke of management. However, the worst-case scenario is a betrayal of the fans' trust and carries a heavy weight of risk. If the pairing doesn't click, the Rams could find themselves with a wasted investment and a massive gap at the most critical spot on the roster. If the development stalls, it puts immense pressure on the rest of the team to carry the load, which always leads to burnout and injuries. We have seen talented prospects fail before, and the fallout can set a franchise back for 5 years. The margin for error is razor thin. One bad habit or a lack of chemistry could undermine months of hard work. Every practice and every preseason snap is going to be scrutinized by the media. We will be watching for signs of progress or red flags that indicate a total disaster. The pressure on the coaching staff is immense because they have staked their reputations on this specific plan. If it fails, the questions will be brutal. But if it works, it will be hailed as the smartest move of the decade. This is the high-stakes environment of Los Angeles football. We are at a crossroads where the future of the team is being decided behind closed doors right now. The drama of this situation is what makes being a fan so exhilarating and nerve-wracking. We have a plan, a proven developer, and a young player the head coach believes in. The pieces are on the board. Now we just have to see how they move when the lights are the brightest. Be honest with me as a fellow fan. Would you trust a young prospect to lead this team if the veteran went down? Or does this coaching move finally give you the peace of mind you've been looking for? Drop your truth in the comments. The future is bright, but the road is always a battle. I want to hear your thoughts on this strategic shift. Do you think this move secures our future for the next 10 years? Stay tuned, because the season is just getting started and the news is only getting crazier.